Hello, world.
This is
Hello,
the beer of Rush.
America.
Maybe it's the beer of Rush.
Okay.
We are invading Canada tonight.
Woo!
Hello, folks. Welcome from Louisiana and across the United States. Tonight we're looking at a famous Canadian beer. It's 5% alcohol and it's called Moosehead Lager.
Hell yeah. Good beer.
Now, yes, Eric, we fly by night away from here and we'll do your life again. Now, this company was founded in 1867 in the colony of New Brunswick, interestingly by a woman, and so they were practicing diversity in 1867, and that was the same year that the country of Canada was formed. So this beer was formed the same year as Canada was established, so that's interesting.
Very nice.
Now, I'll say this beer, this company. Now, when did the lager come out? We don't know. The company gives no information about that. They talk about the ale. They were famous for ale, but Lee Russell Earl Harlock, he said, well, he thinks it came out around 1978 to compete with your Molson Canadian and your Budweiser and Pabst and all of that. So that's probably the case. But it's now their flagship beer, even though it used to be their pale ale.
1867, right?
That's for the company.
Yep.
Okay.
Not this particular brand. Now, let's introduce who we have. Well, from out west, we have Beer Cup and Michelle.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Good to see y'all back. And from the south, we have myself in Louisiana Beer Reviews. We have Movie and TV Ramble in Alabama, Jean H. Pierre, your Haitian connection for all things fabulous.
Woo! That's a mouthful.
And it's 100% true. In Indiana, Tippecanoe and John Sharon 2 with Zone.
Uh-oh. Get down!
Got dive bombed. But they announced that they were going to be spraying the entire parish with mosquito spray because of the heavy rain. So, all right. Now, so you may hear dive bombing. So we got John, Sharon, in Zone 1. Sorry for the interruption. Oh, we have Keone out west, too. Sorry, Keone. Keone hasn't joined us in a while, and it wasn't because he doesn't like us anymore. It's because he couldn't find the beers we were doing.
Yeah.
Then he said, I was worried you were going to cut me out. I would not do that. All right. And then we have also from the north, we have Nate K. And we have Massachusetts Beer Reviews, Thomas Meadow. And now, joining us, also known as Eric, and joining us from Texas, another rain-soaked area right now, is Paul. All right. Now, let's crack it open, folks.
Look at this head I got initially from the beer. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful glass.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's my glass. I got very little lacing, but, you know, looks a bit cloudy. But so far, so good.
Now, I want to ask this question. Are there any people tonight that have never had this beer?
I don't believe Nate has.
I don't think I have either, actually.
No, I don't know if I have,
this
actually.
before. I've had this before.
Okay, so we got Nate, who's not had it. Beer Cub, you said you have not had it?
Yeah, I've had it.
Okay, Michelle Stitches, you've had it?
I probably have if he has. If nothing else, I've tasted his. You know, I'm not a super lager fan, but whatever he's drinking, I always say, can I have a taste? So.
Okay, and Paul's trying to click on, so it's Nate K, who's never had it, and that's it, right? Keone,
I guess so, yeah.
I've never had it.
Paul's never had it.
you never had it at all? You didn't sneak a taste?
No, I only got a single, so it's the first one this week.
Oh, well. Now,
One more.
Eric, you got to do your typical fantastic monitoring of echo, like they said in 1996 album, Check for Echo.
Check for echo. That's right.
Echo.
That album I do own. Now, the head on mine, you can see what happened to that. It went.
It went down. The same. Kind of the same as well.
The Pilsner glass I'm using is trying to retain the head as long as possible.
Hey, where's
Right.
Brian? Where's Brian from Maryland? He said he was joining. Okay. He had some little technical issues last week. All right. Well, we'll go out up north. So the New England people, what can you tell us about the appearance and the aroma and the taste?
What are you
Because
getting there,
we can't
Nate?
go too long tonight because of World Series considerations. So we're not gonna rush, but we ain't gonna
All right.
hurry.
Nate, what you got, newbie?
Go for that.
Of Moosehead.
I would say somewhere between a light and kind of not dark, but kind of a lighter kind of yellow color I got with mine, almost golden kind of.
Probably a little more golden than Budweiser, eh?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It's got a mild hop presence. I think what I'm tasting is the malt in it. Is like the main flavor that I'm getting out of it. It's mildly sweet, but it does have like a just kind of a little bit of a bite on the hops, but really not, nothing too bitter for sure.
Okay. Bachman Turner Overdrive. Okay, let's see. All right, Eric.
You
Hey.
ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah. All right, Eric. Hey, you. Tell us what you think of it.
Reserve my judgment of the beer overall for the moment, but I am definitely getting, again, it's got to be, I would just say straight up like golden color. It's very nice looking color. Again, well, I'll get to the head in a minute. It looks like it's got some fairly good carbonation, lively carbonation in the beer. Again, since I'm using this Pilsner glass, it's still trying to hold on to its head. A little bit of lacing there, if you can sort of see that, yeah. And I think it does have a pretty good, rich, kind of a bready, malty kind of a flavor overall. There's a little bit of some, like, almost like in a German Pilsner kind of a style. It's got some hops at the back end, a little bit spicy and maybe like florally or earthy, just to round out a little bit of that sweet, grainy flavor. But overall, I'm not really finding it to be all of that like corny or adjuncty tasting. It's pretty clean and refreshing beer. It's very nice.
Okay. Well, that's good. So two very good descriptions. So now over to a little west, but still up north of the Ohio River. John Sharon, Zone 1.
Big
What do you
John.
think about the aroma and the taste?
The aroma, I mean, you get that bready, malty in it. I mean, I really don't get. I have part of my head went away very quickly. No lacing. It's got some moderate carbonation. I mean, I've had this beer numerous times, and I mean, it's an enjoyable beer. You kind of get that bready note that Eric's talking about, but my palate's kind of wrecked right now. But I mean, it's just a great go-to beer.
Your palate's wrecked because you were doing the Goose Island migration, huh?
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, buddy.
But you're able to discern it enough to figure out that you like it?
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely an enjoyable beer. I mean, it's malty. I mean, it's got a little bit of hop in the back end, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's bready. I mean, it's just an enjoyable beer. I mean, I've had I don't know how many of these over the years. Continue to buy a six-pack on a rare occasion.
Well, and the price is not too bad, is it?
No. I think it was like $6.49 a six-pack or something like that.
Yeah. Down to Mobile. What do you think, Jean-Pierre?
I kind of agree with what Eric and John says. A little bit of breadiness to this beer, but like any foreign beer, and I don't know what it is. And Canada, North America, whatever. But there's just something about beers from outside, that they just have something that just have this taste, whatever it is. Even though the ABV may be high or low, they just have something that kind of gives it a little bit of, just a little more, I guess a more pleasant taste to it, more, acceptability. I'm really enjoying this one. I've had Moosehead before when I lived back home in New Jersey, and I could get that available anywhere, except then down here, which is like maybe a few spots here and there. But I like this beer. So
you're saying that you hate America?
Yes, I do.
Okay, now
Oh, Canada.
all right. Now what I think about it is I have had it over the years a few times, and I don't drink it like a whole lot. They do have it in my town at, I know at Methurns, they might have it in Winn-Dixie, but yeah, it's typical American style lager beer. It's clear, it's a little golden, it doesn't have a whole lot of head, but the aroma is like y'all were saying, it's a lot of breadiness, yeastiness. I didn't hear anybody yet say corn, and I'm not picking up corniness either.
I didn't pick up any corn whatsoever in it.
I think there's a little bit in the taste. There's a little bit of a syrupy quality that might be corn syrup, maybe, but none of that is really pronounced to me, at least.
Yeah, and those Mexican beers like Tecate, they have a strong, like, corn tortilla taste, but this does not. It has.
Do we know they use corn as an adjunct, or do they use rice? Because it reminds me more of a rice adjunct beer.
I'm just assuming because their website doesn't tell you anything. It just says they use Canadian, interior plains barley, that call it the Great Plains, but
They don't specify.
all that kind of stuff, Canadian ingredients, but they don't really talk about, that I could see, what. Maybe I overlooked it, but I was trying to be careful, and I didn't see anything about what type of barley malt. I'm sure it's pale malt. I don't know if it's 2-row or 6-row. They didn't talk about the hops.
Maybe to go along, just to deviate for a second, maybe to go along the lines of what TV Rambler John Pierre was saying, it would seem like there's something different and unique going on with some of these import lagers, like in the United States, they tell you about they tell you in their major beers in America, in the United States, they tell you about if it's corn or if it's rice, but in these other countries, they don't really seem to do that as much, and they definitely don't do that with the Moosehead or the Molson Canadian we did last week.
Now, before we go out west, I'll say this: it is flavorful. So if somebody said it was just flavorful, fizzy yellow, they're wrong. That's just people are wrong.
They just don't like the style.
And I'm unanimous in that. But it's distinctive from the Molson Canadian. Even though they're both 5%, they do not taste alike at all to me. Now, would I be able to tell them apart in a taste challenge? I don't know, but I could tell that they were not the same beer. Now, out west to Texas, what do you think, Paul?
Well, I kind of mirror what everybody else said about the smell, or the smell. It's that typical American lager, malty, bready smell. Flavor, it's just really smooth. I don't know what I'm tasting other than the typical lager ingredients, but they just go well together. It's got a nice flavor. It's not I think what you guys were talking about with these kind of foreign lagers, they seem to be a little more flavorful, but they're still extremely drinkable. They're just really enjoyable to sit there and probably be enjoyable to stare and pound a few of these while watching the Leafs play or something,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I like what you said about smooth, because I really do think Moosehead is one of the smoothest Pilsner style lagers I've ever had.
It's like butter. It's like butter.
I like butter.
Well, Shipyard beers kind of taste like butter, but that's a different story.
No, he likes to. All right, now Brian Sharkey's here, and he's in the old South, at least. Now,
Yay, his video works. Yay.
Now, Brian, how many times have you had Moosehead before, sir?
We got no audio from you, Brian.
We're going to get back to Brian. He's just like Fox, sports. Now,
No.
now, going out to Beer Cup, and Michelle, don't worry, California. We're going to California now. But Beer Cup, and Michelle, what do you think about this Moosehead Lager?
I enjoy it very much. I'll always have pleasant associations with this beer because the first time I tried it several years ago, it happened to be a day when she was making her world famous homemade pizza, and the pairing of this beer with her homemade pizza is, I mean, A+. Because the breadiness of it just goes perfectly with that, and as has been said, it's just very clean, smooth, refreshing. I mean, I can't find anything to complain about with this beer. Another thing I'll say, in case anybody's not aware of this, Moosehead has a really great website called Moosehead Beer Academy. So if you're interested in learning more about the company, but also just it's a lot of beer education about how beer is made, the ingredients that are used, that sort of thing. Just an awesome website. I highly recommend it.
Moosehead Beer Academy. That kind of reminds me of the Anheuser-Busch, where they have that online 8-chapter book called Zithology.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything, and that's good. I appreciate that information. Now, Michelle Stitches is not exactly a lager fan, to say the least. But
well, once again, I would just like to point out that my knitting coordinates nicely with my beer and color. Somebody said that it smelled a lot like your typical American lager, and not to be contrary, but there are a lot of American lagers that I do not like the smell, and this one does not offend me. So whatever it is, I still haven't figured out what it is that's in some American lagers that I just don't like, whether it's the yeast or the adjuncts or whatever. This one does not have it in as great a quantity. It's like I get a little whiff of it, a little taste of it, but not nearly as much. Somebody said it was crisp. I agree. And refreshing. I agree. I would drink this again. It's not my favorite style of beer, but I am enjoying it, and I think anybody who says it doesn't have flavor, it's because they're so used to drinking a lot of the types of beers that I like to drink. You know, you take this after you had a Saison or an IPA or a porter, yeah, it's going to seem pretty bland in contrast, or, you know, an imperial or a barley wine, but, you know, having not had any beer before I had this, I'm finding it enjoyable.
Oh, it'd be like if you watch Star Wars. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying it'd be like if you watched Star Wars and then you turned around and watched Manhattan and then you said, oh, that movie just had no action in it. Well,
yeah, exactly. And just, you know, you guys were groaning over the pizza. There's a pot of homemade creamy chicken and wild rice soup simmering for our dinner tonight, so from scratch. So.
Wild rice with what?
Wild rice and chicken. Creamy wild rice and chicken soup.
Oh, man.
It may take a while for me to get out there, so...
it's the good kind with the butter and...
Oh, man, and it's homemade. All right, now...
Yeah.
Now we're gonna.
I'll be there, Michelle. I'll be there.
In spirit, at least. Now we're gonna test. We're gonna test Brian. Brian, can you give us some audio? Heckaroonie. Now, Eric, you might have to give him some advice. Now,
oh boy, let's try.
Maybe Keone could. Now, Keone, you could juggle audio issues with beer evaluations.
What? Audio issues?
No, you sound great, but I'm saying Brian's having a little audio problem.
I'm suggesting that Brian log out of the video and try to come back in and see what happens.
I'll actually go with that first, but
that might do the trick.
The old reboot.
See you in 5 seconds, Brian.
If he's on a desktop, if he's on a laptop, if he's on Windows, if he's on Mac.
Oh, you're F either way. Pardon my French.
All right. Sorry about your little problem up there, fellas. Well, we've cross-checked your computer, and it seems to be a computer error. Okay. I know this.
All right. 2001 reference.
I know this sounds incredible. Okay. Now, You're out in space and they're telling you, yeah, your computer is breaking down. All right.
You have to turn it off.
Yeah, you're going to have to reboot that computer.
Oh, Brian.
Okay.
Nope, no audio.
Or head out the door system.
I love that scene because you can see the dread on their face. The two guys' faces, total dread. The guy's telling them, yeah, it looks like your computer's broken. And then the computer tells the two guys, you're not concerned about this, are you? Oh, no, not at all. He can tell they're lying to his face, you know. All right, now, but anyway, off of the movies. Keone, what do you think about this beer?
With the smell, mainly getting a really bready smell to it. You get, and with the taste, I am tasting some sort of grain. I can't really decipher what type of grain. It's very subtle. The dryness kind of hinders my ability of figuring out what type of grain, but I'm thinking corn. It's mainly just really malty with that breadiness. There's a little bit of citrusy hops at the aftertaste at the end of it. It's a very smooth and refreshing beer. Very clean. I like the maltiness to it. The maltiness seems to be front and center in this beer.
Suppose I ask you this question. Do you think this tastes a little bit like Heineken? I was thinking about this while y'all were talking. I said,
yeah, it does taste a little bit like Heineken.
You know, like I said, it's just something with these overseas imported beers. It has that taste to it, you know, like a Heineken or a Beck's, you know, kind of flavor, you know.
I think it's that's me.
And Keone, that's what you were saying. It's like really smooth, huh?
Yeah.
If Brian can join us,
Carbonated.
I want him to tell us.
I think the dryness gives a little edge to it.
Yes, we want Brian's input.
Wait, Eric, he's trying to say something. What now, Keone?
No, I said it's really smooth, but I think the dryness gives it a little bit of an edge. Like without that dryness, it'd be pretty plain. Well, not in flavor, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, right. This is like one thing I notice all the time in these lagers. Sometimes the mouthfeel and the dryness adds like a bite to it, but it doesn't make it unsmooth. It's hard to describe. It's like it has smoothness, but it has bite that gives it character.
Yes.
Is Brian muted?
I have to say, too, I agree with Keone. I think he was the first one that said it was kind of a citrusy hops, which I do agree with. I didn't really notice that before until you said that.
Oh, maybe he is muted. Brian.
Oh, there you go. The mute's off now.
Now, Paul, citrusy hops. That's a good observation. I have 3 of those, and of course, you're not the first one that said it, but somebody that previously said it, but I'm going to...
It was Keone. I was saying Keone said it. And
yeah.
I hadn't thought of it until he said it, and when he said it, I was like, yeah, you're right. It is kind of citrusy.
But not like lemon juice.
No. It's very subtle.
Another thing I was thinking about. Now, Brian, try to talk to us again. Damnation. Now, Brian, you give us 2 thumbs up if you really like the beer. You give us 1 thumb up if you think it's okay, and you give us a thumbs down if you think it's no good. Oh, he likes it. Boom. I'm gonna talk to him over on Facebook. Now, but another thing I was thinking about, and I'm sorry to talk so much tonight, y'all. But
Jack King Kirby, right? No, what were you thinking about?
I was thinking about Jack Kirby earlier, but I was thinking to myself, I said, is this beer, Moosehead, better than Budweiser? I don't know. I've been thinking a lot. So I poured this pint of Budweiser, and you know, it's definitely not as gold as the Moosehead.
Right.
Budweiser always has. No, I'm not even gonna say it.
Wow.
What?
If you look at Budweiser carefully in the light, sometimes it'll look a little green. It's just I always think it has a green shade to it. And Anheuser-Busch is probably saying he's insane, he's going crazy. But
Colonel Kurt's out there.
No, I can't say better than Budweiser, but it's certainly different.
Yeah.
Jay, I don't think you're crazy when you say that about colors, because colors do have undertones. Like you can have a red that has a cool blue undertone, or it can have, a warm undertone. So it's very possible that the yellow of the Budweiser, it's either going to have a warm undertone or a cool, which would read almost like a green. So that's not crazy.
Plus, if you're looking at it, depends where you're looking at it, what kind of light.
Yeah.
And also because Budweiser is so clear, you might have other things impacting the color that you don't even realize. And especially if you're doing your reviews outside and stuff, and you have all the grass around you.
I was thinking about that, and the predominant color where I live is green. So you're going to get that maybe that. But then I don't get. But the thing about that, here's another problem with that theory. I don't ever get that with the other beers, right? So it's like I pour other lagers and they don't have that green. And it's not green. It's green. You know what I'm saying? 99.
Green-esque.
It's 99% gold
Yeah.
and 1% green, where everything else is 100% gold and no percent green. Oh, well, that's just something that I've been reluctant to say over the last 20 years. Well, here we are now at the end of this.
Top of the hour.
At the top of the hour. Here we are. Now we're going to go out west, and we're going to ask the people, would you buy Moosehead again? You don't ask would they drink it, because a lot of people drink stuff if it was free. But would you buy Moosehead again?
Do a sound check on Brian again. He's back.
Right, Brian?
No.
Brian.
We're going to have to get together with Brian and see what equipment he's using, because it's definitely a workable solution. So I'm pretty sure we could work.
Maybe it's a USB microphone issue. I have no clue.
It's like in that movie Apollo 13. We got to work the problem. Now,
Exactly.
Sometimes I have to shut my whole computer off and reboot my whole computer.
Well, uh-oh.
Now, Beer Cup and Michelle, would you buy it again?
Yes, I buy it from time to time. As was said earlier, it's a good price beer too, so it's not going to hurt your wallet. I think you're getting a lot of flavor for your dollar. And if anybody's concerned about the green bottles, you might check your area to see if they have it in cans. There's a few stores around here that sell it in cans,
Really?
so that avoids that problem.
I've never seen it in cans.
I've never seen it in cans.
That's fascinating.
I wouldn't buy it, but I'd drink it.
Okay, so Michelle would not buy it, but that's not saying much, because we could name 100 more lagers and she would say no.
Bingo. Exactly. So it's not my beer of choice, but you hand me one and I'll drink it. There are some beers you hand me and I'd say thanks, I'll have water. So.
Fair enough, and I would say the same thing. For instance, one I'm thinking of right now.
Steel Reserve.
Oh no, I drank Steel Reserve. I wouldn't drink.
I
I wouldn't drink name tag lager. All right, now Keone.
Well, yeah.
Ouch.
I wouldn't drink it. You understand what I said? I wouldn't.
Yes.
It wouldn't matter about buying it. If somebody gave me a name tag lager, I'd say I appreciate it, but I'm just going to drink water tonight. Okay, Keone,
Hey.
would you buy this again?
Hey.
Yeah, I'll definitely buy it again. I think this is one of the only Canadian beers I have in my area, but it's really good. I'm one who always likes to mix it up. I noticed I've been on the craft beer front for a while and drinking IPAs all the time. Gets boring. Even drinking macros can do the same thing, or adjuncts. I always like to mix it up, so this is definitely going to be bought sometime in the future again. That's for sure.
Excellent. Now, okay, let's see. Out west, Brian just left, and I was about to ask him if he would buy it again, and he got off.
Still trying to figure out his crazy.
I'm so discouraged. I remember one guy wanted to join us one time, and he couldn't get the audio to work. He got so.
Oh, Diamond Dave.
No, that wasn't.
Oh, he had a whole
Really, Ross?
his.
Wow.
He had a whole different issue with his computer.
No, it was a guy who lives around me, and he got discouraged. He couldn't get the audio to work, and he never came back on. I think he really got discouraged about it.
Brandon?
No, Brandon had to work nights, so that killed.
Oh.
Berserker?
No, it was a guy named Craig. There was a guy named Craig that never joined us because he couldn't.
Oh, Craig, yeah.
Craig's from Hawthorne. Craig.
Hey, I'm gonna have to bug out, guys, but
Okay,
I would buy it again. It's really good, and I put it up there with Heineken and Beck's and all those. Yep.
Outstanding.
Paul, be good, Paul.
All right, guys.
Be good.
Enjoy the series.
Okay, see you next week for
There's the
Anchor
background.
Liberty Ale.
Yay.
KC
If I can find it.
Royales.
Oh, you will find it. Okay.
All right.
Now, I would buy it again.
Okay, here comes Brian.
Now, I don't know when I'm going to buy it again, but I would buy it again. You understand? Now, Jean H. Pierre, would you buy it again?
Yes, I would buy it again. It's just it's not an everyday beer.
John Walker.
I
Look at
would
this.
buy this again. Special occasion. If I want to piss off my significant other, hey babe, I got some beer. Hey, Moosehead. Oh, I ain't drinking that. Well, good. All for me. Yes, I will buy it again.
All for me. Now, last Southerner who just joined.
Hello.
Now, John, we cannot listen to you tell us about the aroma, the flavor, the body, the mouthfeel, and the finish. But we can listen to you tell us if you like the beer and would you buy it again. And we're glad to see you because we missed you a lot.
Yeah, I've had the beer once. It's been a while. I wasn't able to come out and get it, but I wanted to
Hey, John.
join. I saw the call was still going. I was like, sweet, I can go in the other room and say hello. The beer's good. I mean, is that a northeastern beer?
Yeah, New Brunswick, Canada.
Oh, wow. Comes from Canada. Canadian from Canada. It's been so long. It's like Narragansett. It's been so long since I've had it. I had it in New York like 2-3 years ago. But I liked it. It was fine. How much does it cost? Probably like 6-pack.
Oh, like $7.99 at the worst, probably.
Yeah.
I saw it yesterday. I saw it yesterday for $6.99.
So it's about the same price as Budweiser.
And Labatt for $6.49. Believe it or not. Okay. So
Mine's
wow.
was $8.31. Mine's $8.31 at Rouse's.
not a great deal. Now, John, would
Remember,
you?
I'm living in Alabama. You know,
Yeah.
beer prices is expensive if you look at the list. You know, of beers across the state where you can buy beers. Alabama's very high.
Oh, that's a shame. Now, John,
Sad.
would you buy it again?
You know, I think I'd give $6.99 for mine. Yeah, I mean, I'd buy a 6-pack. You know, every 3 or 4 months of it. Well, yeah, I bought it again. I'll buy it again. But you know, I can remember back in the '80s when this was kind of a celebrity type beer. You know, I mean, it was most people couldn't get it. If you get it, that was a big score back in the day. So
Now, back to
I
John.
prefer Molson.
Now, back to John Walker. Would you buy it again?
I preferred it over Molson, and yes, I would.
Okay, you prefer to a Molson. All right, see you later, Pierre. TV Ramble.
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, I
I'm
thought
still
you.
here.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, wait. We don't want things to go out of hand.
No, when I put the message, I need to get the hell out of Alabama. Take the wife with me.
Alabama, right? I didn't tell y'all to drink Crown Royal before you came on. Now, John Walker, you would buy it again, correct?
Yes.
And John, Sharon, you said you would, and you remember back when it was an exotic beer. And I was talking to Dave, Dr. Dave, the beer professor, this week, and he said, well, in fact, back in the 1970s when he would go out with this guy he used to work with, they would go out every night after work and drink it. He said getting this in Molson Canadian was like super exotic back then,
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I can remember that back in the '80s. You know, I mean, it was before the big, blow up of craft beer. I mean, it was a, oh man, you're drinking a Moosehead.
Moosehead was a beer you bought when you wanted to show off.
Yeah.
Were many European beers available in the United States back in like the 70s and 80s?
Low and Brow, that was U.S. made. What else, John? Guinness.
You had a lot of those beers like that was what you bought in a 24-pack of beers around the world.
Beers in the world, yeah. They had Guinness, Holy Girl.
But there was no other.
Yeah, St. Paul, my neighbor would always tell me about that.
Yeah, but it wasn't widespread. I mean, it was limited. Maybe you could get something like, Dos Equis. Now, I mean, Dos Equis back in 1975 was like something where you really wanted to impress your neighbors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I looked this up. Dos Equis Amber used to be called Tres Equis back in like the 70s and 80s.
Tres Equis.
Yeah, if you look on the Amber, Dos Equis Amber, there's 3 X's on it. Or it used to be. But Tres Equis was the Amber version of Dos Equis. Or from the Dos Equis line.
Wow.
Yeah.
3 X's. Sound like the Mitchell brothers put that out. Now, but anyway, we better not get. All right, now, I always thought it was the original Dos Equis.
The original Dos Equis is the Pilsner.
No.
Green bottle.
No, that didn't
Wait,
come out.
what?
That didn't come out till 1984. I'm gonna have to talk to you offline because Dos Equis Especial, the green bottle, did not debut until 1984.
All right, well, I'll look it up again.
I got money on that one. Now, but I don't want to take your money. Now, anyway, Nate.
But Jay, if it said it on the internet, it must be true.
Yeah, but he was reading The Onion.
Well,
Now, Nate K, would you buy this again?
Yeah, I would buy it again. I mean, certainly I've done enough of it anyway, seeing as the place is stopped at only had 12 packs and only had one 12-pack left actually. But it's good. I don't have buyer's remorse about it.
Yeah, and I've had that many times buying beers. Boy, I can tell you.
I can only imagine.
Just this weekend, or last weekend.
Yeah. Now, so Nate would buy it again. Now, Eric, after the gold rush, would you buy this again?
I would buy, and I have bought this before any gold rush ever occurred, which would mean I'm from the 1800s. But
Neil Young from Canada.
Oh yeah. Neil Young would drink this.
Rockin' the free world.
He made an album in 1970 called After the Gold Rush. But anyway,
I forgot about that. Duh. You know what? I bought this beer many times. I even, speaking of Halloween coming up here, I even brought this to I even brought a 12-pack of this to a Halloween party last year, and it was a tremendously big success and hit from, especially if this makes any sense, it was a big hit from people that were pretty much drinking just Miller High Life the whole night. They actually really enjoyed this beer, and it was an easy drinking beer the whole night, and it seemed to it didn't get tiring or bored. I didn't get tired or bored of drinking it the whole night. So yeah, I would buy this again, and I have bought this in the past.
Wow, and talking about polar opposites, Miller High Life and Moosehead, that's kind of like, all right, now, even though they're the same style, they are not the same flavor by any stretch of the imagination.
Was this a hoppy beer for this style?
I would say it is relatively hoppy for this style. Yes, I'll go along with that.
Okay. Kind of like Schlitz.
Yeah, or
Pabst.
Pilsner Urquell, or I know those are European non-adjunct lagers, but you know that we were remarking that Moosehead has a Euro lager flavor in some respects.
Hey, speaking of Pilsner Urquell, that's what country that originates from, right? It's
1842.
Czech Republic?
Well, in 1842, it was the German Confederation, and it was the Kingdom of Bohemia. There was no Czech Republic in 1842. But yeah, that area, Central Europe.
Yeah. And I think it's true that the Czech Republic drinks the most beer out of any European country.
Yeah,
they drink like 2 more gallons a year, 2 more gallons a month than Ireland.
Per capita. Yeah,
or a year.
They drink the most beer per capita in the world.
Guys, I'm going to drop off real quick, so I will see you next week.
All right, thanks, John, for joining us.
I rushed home, so I wasn't going to miss out on it. So.
Yeah.
Well, have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, I looked it up. Yeah, Amber was the first of the Dos Equis.
Oh, yeah, I knew that had to be. Yeah, because the Ambar was created in 1897 by William Haas, and he was from Germany, and they were basing that on the Vienna lager style that came from Vienna, Austria, when the Austrians ruled Mexico for a few years.
Look up Tres Equis. I looked it up before, and it said something about it being a part of the Dos Equis line. I don't know. My neighbor used to drink it, and he just recently died, so I can't really ask him anymore about it.
I would definitely look that up because now you got my mind very concerned. Now, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
Ooh.
We got you now.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
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 Brian. Brian.
I
We're going to wrap this up because I know the first pitch has already happened. Now, Brian. Oh, we're getting echo. Might be coming from Brian.
Hello? No?
Yeah, Brian, would you tell us a little bit about the beer, and we're going to end it. We're about to end, but tell us if you would buy it again.
I think it's easy drinking, smooth, more malty than hop flavor. It's been a long time. It's definitely like a calm lager. It's not something. So it's something you could probably put down pretty fast. I mean, you know, it's I thought it was better than I remembered. I haven't had it in about 20 years. But I would buy it again. I was lucky to buy it, find it in a 6-pack here in my neighborhood, 849. But I think I would buy it again.
20 years. So you drank this when you were 15? Well.
No, it's been quite a while. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a long time. Also, Moosehead.
So what you're saying is it's better than you presumed it was going to be.
Yes, I couldn't remember at all what it tastes like, what it was like.
Now, could you see yourself ever buying it again?
Not in the immediate future, but I think I would. I'd go along. I kind of like the Canadian, the Molson Canadian, a little more. You
know, I can't decide. I think I like them both. It's like a tie. I really do think we need to look at Labatt, even though they're ripping us off at 11.2 ounces.
Yeah.
Well, let's finish this up. And I'm sorry, Brian, that you had those audio problems, but I sure am happy that you got to join us.
Whatever happened, remember those settings immediately.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, I want to preview real fast. Next week, we're looking at a pretty exciting beer, and I think Michelle Stitches is going to like what I'm about to say.
IPA.
The first American-made India Pale Ale of the 20th century, Liberty Ale.
Of the 20th century.
Yeah, because they had made them, but you know that died out. But Anchor Liberty Ale from 1975. This is the 41st anniversary of it, or 41st year.
Yeah.
40th anniversary. The next week we have Sierra Nevada Bigfoot barley wine style.
Yes.
Ooh. Then on the 18th, get ready to get excited. On the 18th of November we have Guinness Nitro IPA.
I can't get that.
Woo!
I want that.
Are we skipping the old stock ale?
Wait a minute. I'm still talking.
Whoa.
On November 25th, we're going to close out the month with Old Stock Ale.
So we got rid of Presidente.
Oh, no, sir. This little calendar book is telling me. This little calendar book is telling me that on December 2nd, 2015, we're looking at Presidente from the Dominican Republic.
There we go.
Hey. Now, so I thought this was a fantastic examination. It was rollicking, and it was fun. And, you know, lager beer, not to mention barley wine, but maybe that. But it's a social lubricant, and people are having a good time. So, laissez les bon temps relais, like we say down here.
Go Mets.
Yeah, I'm indifferent to that.
I want a good series. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm indifferent.
Although I appreciate Brian's shirt more. Go Orioles.
I especially appreciate it considering the fact that I went to the Orioles ballpark and watched the game in June, but then I also went to see the Mets in June as well. So
I saw the Mets in July.
Yeah, but I got a Mets ticket for $10, and I sat behind home plate.
Damn.
I bought a ticket from Street Master, and I sat behind home plate. And it was a no hitter.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I got
Okay.
Take $15.
I got off the subway or the elevated train, and this guy's like, "Hey man, you need a ticket?" I was like, "Yep." "Oh man, I got all kind of tickets." I was like, "Let me see what you got." I said, "Oh yeah, those are beautiful." I said, "Those are fantastic tickets." I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you $10." $10? Bye. I said, "Okay." Then he turns around. "Okay, all right," because I had the $10 in my hand. He wasn't passing up a sale since he bought the tickets from the mafia. All right. Well, anyway. But actually, that is where he got them. But anyway, so thank y'all for watching this examination, and everybody have a good, safe, and enjoyable evening.
See ya.
Thanks.